The cremation and funeral of South Africa's last apartheid president, Frederik Willem de Klerk, is taking place today, and as per his family's wishes, it will be a private ceremony. De Klerk died of cancer on the 11th of this month at the age of 85. The South African flag has been flying at half-mast and will do so until the evening after his funeral. A state memorial service will take place at a later stage. Ayesha Ismail looks back at the life and times of a man who leaves an ambiguous legacy.
The prohibition of the African National Congress, the Pan-Africanist Congress, the South African Communist Party and a number of subsidiary organizations is being rescinded. The government has taken a firm decision to release Mr. Mandela unconditionally.
This is the historic February the 2nd speech that catapulted de Klerk into the history books and won him international respect and recognition. He went on to share the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 with former President Nelson Mandela for their role in the peaceful transition from apartheid to a democratic South Africa. De Klerk led the National Party from 1989 to 1997 and served as President of South Africa from 1989 to 1994. He was Deputy President from 1994 to 1996 in Mandela's Government of National Unity. But what kind of legacy has he left?
South Africa is divided on the legacy of FW de Klerk as it is divided on so many other questions. However one may look at the situation from one's preferences or dislikes, the fact remained that FW de Klerk led the process that moved South Africa from apartheid to constitutional democracy. And it was a very difficult process.
Dave Stewart says de Klerk did what was expected of him as a leader at the right time.
One of the first things he did when he took over as president was to gather the officer corps of the police and the military in separate meetings at which he told them, the struggle is over. Your job is now simply to defend the country and to maintain law and order.
But he says there were some in the security forces who were acting against de Klerk's instructions.
There were elements on all sides that wanted to destroy the negotiation process. On the far right, they wanted to have violence and they wanted to have mayhem and bloodshed. So they were working absolutely against de Klerk's policy of changing South Africa and beginning negotiations.
Anti-apartheid veteran and leader of the United Democratic Front, Alan Busak, says de Klerk is leaving behind a tragic legacy.
The legacy of a man who had the opportunity to do what is right when it mattered, and who did not take that opportunity. I'm thinking of the time when, during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, he was there with his whole delegation. The Archbishop then invited him to come forward to not apologize, but to show some remorse and repentance. Now, that was in a time when he was still going to join the Government of National Unity. So he had not left his power behind. He still had power. He still could have influenced people. And he refused to do that. He and his whole delegation got up, walked out of the room, and missed it. If you were in that position, where you had the power to do something about people's lives, and you don't do that, you wait until your deathbed, and you then offer an apology, that's not enough.
Busak says de Klerk never asked for forgiveness.
So he clearly did not see why he should be forgiven, because in his view he had done nothing wrong.
As with all political figures, you're going to have widely differing views regarding the motives, the merits involved in the actions of the man.
Those who suffered under apartheid say de Klerk took the truth and secrets to his grave and has left so many unanswered questions, such as the killing of the Cradock Four and the Boipatong massacre.
Whatever happened between Mr. de Klerk and God in the final days of his life, on his deathbed is between him and God is infinitely good, God is infinitely gracious, but God will also call us to account.
Apologize for the pain and
Ayesha Ismail,
the hurt
Cape Town.